Hello, welcome back to another Netflix series review. There will be some spoilers, so I will give a warning. But for those that haven't seen the show, I will give you a quick rating. 7 out of 10. Okay, a decent show. 6 episodes. For those that watch my recent, most recent review of the show, The Break, that show would have been done better if it was done in 6 to 8 episodes instead of 10. This one, I think the 6 episode is just right. There are some issues with the show, that's why it get a 7 out of 10, but it's still a decent show. And here come the spoiler review. So if you haven't seen the show, goodbye. This is a French-based series. It's French speaking as well as take place mostly in Paris with beautiful many scenes with the Eiffel Tower in the background. Once again, I am not familiar with any of the actors in this show, and for the most part, I felt the acting was solid. Okay, the key character was solid. I have a bigger problem with the cops and detective in this show. I thought the leading head detective, the male, he was okay, but the female cops and some of the other junior detective, ooh, on many scenes when they express smug attitude toward the victim, as if they think they know what's going on, it did not work for me. Their facial reaction, the tones, on how they deliver the lines, and the two female detectives, for those that watch the show, the are just, I didn't buy that at all, and I think that was very poorly done in my opinion. But as far as the story, it's a good story. The problem, what hurt my rating of the show, is the the way they portray the law enforcement side. When it come down to the detectives, how they didn't believe her, at times felt that she was responsible for the murder or play part in the kidnapping. Really? She shot herself, or there is just so many things that come out of their mouths as far as a detective. That's just stupid. And then her friend, her ex-boyfriend, ex-lover, what the hell was wrong with the head of the police department not telling the other detectives that he's a secret service, all that stuff? I mean, how he was able to operate, and how the other detectives and the cops was chasing after him and pursuing him as if he's a criminal and involved in the murder. There are so many things that are just dumb on the law enforcement side. Okay, the the mother, the boyfriend, the secret agents, the people responsible for the kidnapping, all that stuff, all of that is interesting. The attorney, all that stuff is interesting. But every time we are back to the detectives, the cop, the law enforcement, I have so many issues. It's just dumb, in my opinion. Okay, thankfully, um, it's not so dumb that it hurt the show rating for me even more. But ultimately, that's what hurt the show. It is my not buying into many things that the detectives were saying or doing. Lastly, the only time that I did like the boyfriend is how he suggested that maybe the crime was an inside job. there was, I wish there was more clues or something that kind of lead him to that path. But to me, that was too thin for him to just like make that suggestion out of the blue at the end. Um, you know, but I can sit here and gripes about the horrible law enforcement portrayed in this show. But I will go one more time. When the boyfriend shot the detective in the chest when he was wearing the bulletproof vest, and the cops and detective was hell bent in saying that you did it. Are you kidding me? You can't tell that she the one that she didn't pull the trigger. You the one pointing the gun and staring at her. You couldn't tell that she didn't do it. Next, as they were sitting in the police station, um, and all this accusation, oh, you did it, we got you, blah blah blah. Really? You didn't test for gunpowder in her hand? You didn't even check if the weapon was fired? I think you would figure out if that weapon was fired recently. Now they talk about it. Okay, they barely mention that they're gonna test the gun. They're going to test the gun. Why don't you do that before you sit there and accuse people of shooting? It's like I said, there's so much stupidity that came out of the cop's mouth in this show that you want to mute them. A 7 out of 10.